So, Wrath of Man is a new movie written directed by Guy Ritchie. It stars Jason Statham as this guy who starts working for an armored truck company. And basically, the more you learn about him, the more you find out why he's actually doing it, why he's doing this job, and uh, yeah, basically that. It's as simple as a Guy Ritchie movie can get. Now, I'm not a big fan of Guy Ritchie as a filmmaker. I've never really liked any of his movies. I didn't care for, Snatch or even The Gentleman, which came out last year, which I know a lot of people really enjoyed, and I thought it was okay at best. A lot of his gangster heist movies just seem to, they just feel like they're too similar to each other, so there's like no real range there. And when he does step out of that range, it's never really that interesting. I didn't care for a Sherlock Holmes movie. Didn't care for The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and I really don't care for Aladdin, so I really wasn't interested in this movie. The trailers looked alright, but it also kind of felt Guy Ritchie-esque, I guess, and it didn't really interest me too much, and I kind of had to keep reminding myself, oh, right, that's coming out. That's coming out very soon, so I'll see it when it comes out. I'm fully vaccinated, so I can go see it in a theater. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I saw it. This movie is actually surprisingly good, and surprisingly, Guy Ritchie does a better job here than he did with his last movie, honestly. Again, that's coming from someone who didn't care for The Gentleman, so, to each their own, I guess. So what worked in this movie? Honestly, the performances, for the most part, are pretty good. Jason Statham is pretty good as this guy who, suffers a great tragedy, and he, tries to hide it, and he has, great comebacks every once in a while. It's really fun. Also, Josh Hartnett's in this movie. What happened to that guy? He was gone for a while, then he came back, and he might be the best he's ever been since ever, really. He's really funny, too, in this movie, and I feel weird saying it's funny because this movie does go into a lot of serious territory, and I'll explain more of that in a bit. Also, Holt McCallany plays essentially Jason Statham's mentor in this movie. And he's good in the role. Those are the main performances in this movie. They're all good, I guess. There are some, Eddie Marson's in this movie briefly. He has a few funny lines, I guess. Also, the movie is surprisingly well shot throughout this entire movie. There's a bunch of long takes in it. The opening armored car heist. That was all in one take, which I thought was a lot of fun. Also, some scenes in Jason Statham's past are also really good as well because they also do the long takes as well. Like that scene where he's shooting a bunch of people while walking. That was a long take. I'm a sucker for long takes. If you can tell, I enjoy Birdman in 1917. So, yeah. Also, I found the movie to be surprisingly funny at times. I felt like the first act was funnier than pretty much the entirety of The Gentleman. And I think that's mostly because, of Josh Hartnett, Eddie Marson. Both are really funny in this movie. I also really like the fact that it didn't feel like a typical Guy Ritchie movie to me. Again, I'm not a fan of his filmmaking. I feel like he's a low-rent Quentin Tarantino. I know some people are fans of Guy Ritchie, but I don't care. I'm not a big fan of him. And this is definitely a step up, and I can definitely tell that this is a more meaningful story and a more, definitely one that doesn't require his style, and he's trying to improve on his style, because there's still nods there, the casting and the non-linear structure and everything. Also, the score by Christopher Benstead I thought was very effective. I thought that was a very powerful, very intense score throughout the entire movie, and I thought it actually really worked. I was really surprised. What don't I like about this movie? Well, honestly, the first act I absolutely loved. I thought, oh, okay, this might actually be a really good movie, one that I will actually really love watching again. And then the second and third act happen, and they're not bad by any means. They're just a little more... It becomes a little more complicated as the movie goes on. And I don't know if I like that, because, you have this pretty simple story, and then it's okay, we're going to make it a little more complex, and I'm like, why? And you understand why, Jason Statham's character, why he does these things in those acts. And I don't know, I just felt like it became needlessly complex. Oh, we want to be better than what we're doing right now. And sometimes less is more. I felt it tried so hard to be, more than just a simple revenge heist movie. Then it just didn't work for me, unfortunately. Also, some of the side characters I didn't care for. There was this female armored truck coworker of Jason Statham's. She didn't really do anything. I don't even remember her name. I don't even remember the actress who played her. I thought she was very boring. Aside from, Jason Statham, Josh Hartnett, Holt McCallany, Eddie Marsan even. I couldn't care for anyone else in this movie, unfortunately. Or really, learn more about the, But then again, the movie doesn't really bother with that, so it's not like I can be too mad about it. But you can at least try, right? You're clearly trying, but oh well. So, Wrath of Man, I thought was a better movie than expected. It definitely elevates Guy Ritchie's, filmography a bit for me. Do you think the performance is really good? It's well shot. The score is incredible. I just think there's things you could have improved in the screenplay, mainly trying not to make it so confusing, as well as trying to, make better side characters. I'm going to be generous with Wrath of Man. I'll give it 3 out of 4 stars. See it. So, did you see Wrath of Man? What did you think of it? And also, what's your favorite Jason Statham movie or favorite Guy Ritchie movie? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.